In 2006, I had the privilege of speaking to Nancy Swinford. Nancy was the daughter of Leo Roy and Lura Andrews, the supervisors of the Coles County Poor Farm after World War II. Nancy lived there for about 8 years, from around 1947 to 1952, starting at the age of 8 or 9. Nancy contacted me around the time Ashmore Estates had been purchased by Scott Kelley, who wanted to fix it up and turn it into a haunted attraction. She either called me or left a comment on my website saying something like, "Have fun with your haunted house," sarcastically. And then I thought, hold on, let's meet somewhere. I want to hear your story. I want to know as much as I can about the history of this place. And that's why there's so much background noise. We recorded most of this interview in a coffee shop on the square in Charleston. So I hope you learn as much as I did.
Okay, we lived there 8 years, and it was probably like 47 to 8 years, 47, 39, 52, 53. Maybe they're like 1954 in there somewhere. The date, I'm not sure.
Okay. And your parents were the caretakers?
They at that time they called him she was the matron, and Daddy was called the superintendent.
Okay. What were their names?
It was Leo Roy.
Like Roy R.O.U.
And then parentheses Bill. That's what he went by, was Bill.
From what ages did you live there?
Well, I would say, I'm trying to think, we started school and I lived there probably 6 or 7 years old up to 8 years later.
At that time, it was a poor farm, right?
It was the Coles County Farm.
Yeah.
That's what it was called. But it was a poor farm, and it was run by the county. Okay? The county furnished all the food. They paid for everything for the people. The people that lived there were people that had no home, had no family. It was before all your fancy nursing homes.
Yeah.
Okay? And they were all ages, a lot more men than there were women.
How many people would you say were living there at the time?
There probably was about maybe 8 women and maybe 15 men. So you got to remember, they added on to that building out there. That building did not used to be that size.
Yeah. Do you know what time the addition was built?
I don't. I thought maybe this might call us here.
But it wasn't there when you were there.
No. This right here was not there. This is all there was right here. The building.
It looks like the new addition from the 60s.
Yeah.
Could you go through do you remember what a typical day was like for the residents? Or?
Some of the residents worked.
Oh, okay.
We had some that were helping in the kitchen. They were the cooks. Some helped with the dishes. They had responsibilities. Some helped with milking because they milked cows. They butchered all their own meat. Those that were trustworthy and able to do that, Daddy gave them a job. They had to help earn their keep. Okay. So breakfast was served at a certain time downstairs in the dining room. The women ate in one room. The men ate in another room. And then the women, you got to remember, I was pretty little there. Everybody had a little bit of responsibility if they were able to take care of. I think I'm sure they kept their own rooms clean and stuff like that.
Was it like one person do a room or like a family do a room?
No, usually it was 2. At least 2. I remember one room that had these 2 ladies in it. Her name we called the little old lady Grandma. She was very small, and she passed away there. I remember seeing my mother close her eyes when she expired. I remember seeing my mother close her eyes. But they had daily chores during the day. I mean, there was the morning milking, the evening milking, and they helped in the garden. They raised all their own food. They raised and canned all the vegetables, okay, with that they could. Every summer, back behind the building, back around here, they would put out three big black iron kettles, the big cauldron, and they would bring in the tomatoes from the garden, which is over here across the road, and the people who lived there was helping, and they would can all the tomatoes. They would cut them down outside and take them inside and can them. I remember that. Butchering, like I said, they butchered all their own meat. It was such a beautiful building back then.
Yeah,
it was beautiful.
I had some pictures from, it looks like the 1920s.
Do you? See, this was all put on here like this. They closed this in. This, and they put windows here. This was a porch, an open porch.
Yeah.
And right up here was my dad's office.
So the office was on the first floor.
Yeah, you had the basement, and you had the first floor, and the second floor.
Oh, the second floor.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my bedroom right there. Daddy's office was there.
So,
this part right here is where the ladies. The first floor, go up these stairs. The first floor across here was about here. There was a firewall here in the middle. Okay, that's where the women lived. But the men had 2 floors because there was always more of them. But our residence was this top floor right here. But now this shows. See, they got the windows in here. Yeah, this is porches, and the women sat on this porch, and the men sat on this porch. There were steps, big concrete steps that went up here.
What was the attic used for? Was this a storage?
This up here?
Yeah.
I would have no idea. It was never in that. I really don't think it was. I don't recall Daddy ever using it for anything. They had so much space. The basement was used. There's a barber shop in the basement. Daddy cut the man's hair. It was down with the. This is over here because I can show you all. I don't think the attic was used.
Do you remember any personalities particularly that stood out?
There was a man named Red Carmen. He was a very tall, thin.
Is it C-A-R-M-E-N?
They call him Red because he's redheaded.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was his given name or not, but they called him Red. He helped my dad farm. He helped with milking, and he helped around. And he was always there. Kept busy doing something. I remember him. And there was another guy named Tiny. He was a very large man. And he would sit on this stoop here. Now, there used to be another house there.
Really?
Okay. They got a trailer sitting there now.
Yeah. Was that, from what I read, it was described as like a storage shed, basically.
I can show you the house that's sitting in Ashmore right now.
Oh, really? So they up and moved it?
It was moved. We called it the White House. That is where we lived in the winter time, or in the summertime. But in the winter time, we came over to this floor because of the heat. The White House did not have. You want to drive over there? I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
You got time?